Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Liz and welcome back to Material Energy Natural Capital. In the last episode, we were working on getting steel, for one, producing our first little bit of steel. We made a new engine, the Stirling engine, which runs on fuel to produce power, and couldn't figure out how to get it to work quite right. Turns out it's just really bad. So I had it hooked up here, and it does need a redstone signal, and the wooden kinesis pipe and a cobblestone pipe, and it was powering our quarry. But it only generates 10 RF per tick. I don't know if we can make that better or not, but that's pretty awful. So we're gonna just stick with the windmills for now. There is some other things we can potentially do, which we'll probably look at later. We do have access to the generators from extra utilities, and these things are usually pretty powerful, especially since we have access to the solar generators. These things are very powerful, but it does require a block of diamond and nether quartz. So we'll have to go to the nether at some point, which I don't actually know if the nether is dangerous or not. But we have to be able to mine obsidian first, and yeah, that will happen later. So, yeah, we have our factory. As you can see, I finished the floor, and I've been trying to figure out some different things. So, a couple things to know. One, if we search for the metallurgic infuser, let's just look up infuser. So, Mechanism has the metallurgic infuser. It's not in here. You cannot find it in any eye for whatever reason. And that's an interesting thing. Obviously, okay, I feel like I have to say this out all the time, but this is a Material Energy mod pack, and apart from the newest one, which is Material Energy 5, which I haven't played yet, we'll get there soon enough. Only ones that were ever really finished were 3 and 4, and arguably the end game on those weren't finished, but for the most part, those were finished. So everything else that we've played that's Material Energy has been a work in progress mod that is not ever probably going to get updated again. Although there has been updates to some that I never thought we'd see. This is no exception. This mod pack is unfinished, and so there's a lot of things that are kind of broken. Because we can make a metallurgic infuser. In fact, all we have to do is look at the recipe for a furnace, and it's in mechanism shaped. Right there it is. Metallurgic infuser. It's the vanilla recipe. It's really easy to make. Osmium furnaces, iron, and redstone. And then we can use that to make, well, the big thing for this, it would be alloys. The various enriched alloys and all that kind of stuff, which we'll need for things later. So why am I bringing this up? Well, it's been a struggle. I'm going to put it that way. There are things that don't have recipes. For example, this solar generator does not have a recipe at all. We cannot make any more of these solar generators. The quest book wants us, sneak preview of what we're going to be doing today, wants us at one point to make a cyclic assembler resonant. As far as I can tell, the cyclic assembler basic will not work. We'll try that again later, but we can't get any resonant machines at all, as far as I can tell. There's no recipes for them, so it is what it is. So there's a lot of things that are kind of broken in this mod pack, and I've been struggling trying to figure out what all we can do. One other thing that I'd love to do is, now I have a lag spike. There we go. Basic. So we have these basic universal cables. We can make more of those. They're steel and redstone. I think that's the vanilla recipe. You get less, I think, but mostly vanilla. Pressurized tubes are required. Those are for gases. But mechanical pipes, we can make those. Logistical pipes, we cannot make. Thermoconductors are heat. That's also available to us. And it's kind of interesting because I was hoping that we could use the basic transport logistical pipes from Mechanism to do some work with automating our ores. eventually our quarries are going to bring in ores. We're going to have to sort through the ores and process them in different ways, and have different processing lines and sending those ores to different things everywhere. It's going to be really cool eventually. But the problem with that is we have to figure out how to sort them. Currently, though, we're not going to mess around with or like crushing ores and all that kind of stuff quite yet. The reason being, one of the biggest not milestones, one of the biggest gates to getting anything currently is gonna be the assembly table. The assembly table will make a lot of different things. If we can find, let me think if I know anything. So advanced circuits, that is something we can jump onto, are made in the assembly table. Somewhere we might see, there's a lot of things made in the assembly table. Trust me on that. So, for example, there was some stuff that I want to make, but I don't know that we can yet, just because we have to use an assembly table. That's right, steel casings, which is the basis of Mechanism. If you can't tell, I really like Mechanism. Mechanism is a really good mod. It requires an assembly machine, which requires tungsten steel. To get tungsten steel, we'll need a vacuum freezer and a blast furnace and tungsten. But it also requires, what was it? Is it the advanced machine blocks? Yeah, that requires an assembly table with a bunch of different things that are really, really, really hard to get. So yeah, there's a lot to do before we can really get anywhere. We're going to need to start processing ores though. And that's something that for the time being, I think we're going to do fairly manually. But eventually I want to use Mechanism to make things nice. We'll probably want to use the rock crusher. And this is going to require a ton of nodes and flint and glass and all sorts of things. We need to get more production. But I need to honestly get more rubber so that we can get more circuits. That's the thing that's kind of slowing us down. We need more steel. Refined iron works as well, which is just smelted iron. Actually, that is what it is. That recipe is probably not what it's supposed to be. But yeah, there's a lot of things. As you can see, the assembly table makes a ton of things. So yeah, if we want to get into industrial craft at all, we have to have the assembly table. So what I'm going to do is, today's episode, we're going to focus on something else. And then later on, I'm going to do some prep work, and we'll come back maybe next episode and start working on getting like the assembly table and some lasers. These are not that bad, but we are going to require a lot of circuits. And getting some more cyclic assemblers would be nice. And we need to start upping production of everything. But we need ores for that, and that's also a pain. So at this point, I'm saying all this because at this point, I'm not entirely sure how I want to proceed. That is the gist of it. So we're going to just ignore everything, and we're going to make a couple leads. Because today's episode is going to be all about animals. So we're going to make a bunch of fences. I would like one fence gate, which I need to go grab some more wood. And yes, I know, there are a bunch of fences on here. We're not going to steal them. We're going to be good. But we need to make a single fence gate, and then we're going to make a animal pen. And we're going to go collect some animals. Now, for the time being, we're not going to worry about any sort of... Wait, no, other way around. Hold on. Fence gate. Oh, what did I see? There was something that was like... Oh, it's an Agricraft fence thing. Okay. So it's like this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's get some more sticks. We'll get a fence gate, and then we need more fences. Let's just get a bunch of fences. Alright, that should be fine for now. So we're going to go get some animals. Sheep, pigs, cows, and maybe chickens. Plus, we're going to try to get into something else. Bees, specifically. But we also have some other things to do. We'll get there. So, for the time being, let's go ahead and put that stuff away. And we're going to just make a little bit of a pen right over here for our animals. We have 29 technically. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a 5 by 5. Let's do. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll want a fence gate like there. Alright, cool. So now all we need to do is go get some animals. We can go get some chickens. Let's go get the chickens first. I think there's some chickens over. There's one right down there. And I am really getting bad frames. That is strange. I do have the launcher still up, so that might be why. But let's see if we can't get... That is actually really bothering me. Alright, so I'm going to get some chickens. And how we're going to do this is we're going to just grab them with a lead and lead them back. Ah, that chicken is up there. Now, chickens are the easiest because they don't take fall damage. You know, it would be nice if we had some seeds. They would follow us a little bit better. Okay, that chicken is really stubborn. Okay. So let's unattach these guys. And let's go grab some seeds. There we go. And we just need to get these guys up to where we want them. Now, I don't know that we need chickens all that much, but eggs are useful. So I'll tell you guys what. I am going to get all of the animals. We'll get pigs, cows, and sheep, as well as the chickens. And that's going to require us to have seeds. We need some carrots, and we need wheat. So I actually need to grow some carrots. Not a big deal. And then we also need to do some other work, which we'll get to in a little bit. But, yeah, go ahead and grow some carrots. And I'm going to get some stuff together and hopefully fix this lag, this frame rate issue. But yeah, there's a ton of animals right here. We're going to bring them all up here, and hopefully we'll get them in the pen. So I'm going to struggle with that for a little bit, and we'll be back once I have that done. Alright, so after a little bit of time, it actually didn't take too long. There was a little bit of an accident. I lost one of the leads, mostly due to the animal falling off a cliff and dying. I had a cow. I lost a cow on the way, but I was able to get more. And all in all, not too bad. We have 3 pigs, 2 sheep, 2 chickens, and 2 cows. And I went exploring a little bit. I was looking for something, which we'll get to soon enough. And we have some jungle saplings now, which is going to be really important later. We're going to want more and more saplings. But I have a couple of chests over here. And we're going to start doing something that we need to work on. But before we can do too much with it, there's our carrot finally. I made some more leads, by the way. Made it a little bit easier. But before we can really get into it, we need to make something else. We're going to be getting into crop breeding. So I had to look up how to make a boat. If we look at these crop sticks, I actually don't know. Can we, whoops, uses of potato seeds. Yes, so we can get a bunch of different things by crop mutation. There is 78 pages of crop mutation, and a lot of the stuff, I don't even know what it is. But we can use PAMs to get a bunch of things. There's a bunch of other ways we can get crops, but the big ones that we're kind of focusing on, we're going to want flowers eventually. That is going to be a capitalism thing, making dandelions and all sorts of different flowers. Will be super easy, super useful. And then just kind of in general, we're going to want to make a bunch of plants. So I'm going to dump off some stuff in here. And we need some things. So we're going to need a slab, 2 wood. We'll use this type of wood. We're going to make a seed analyzer. 3 sticks, a stone slab of any sort. We'll just use cobblestone, that'll be fine. We have the sticks, and then a glass pane, which I want to make sure is made with, let's see, shaped crafting. It would be normal shaped crafting. Just verify that glass panes are the, I'm going to assume that it is. So we have everything we need. Let's run over here. We are getting low on food. There is a lot of animals around. We should probably kill some of them, cook them up and all that fun stuff, but another time, maybe. Anyways, we need to make this seed analyzer. Oh, great. Okay, so let's do this the right way. Glass pane. Perfect. And that makes the seed analyzer. So what the seed analyzer is, well, it analyzes our seeds. How Agricraft works is all seeds have different stats. And we can throw this potato seed in there, and it's a 1-1-1. Now what that means is on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the best, its growth, which is how fast it grows, its gain, which is how many like products it gives you. You can get up to, I think it's 4 typically, unless it's been changed in the config files. I doubt it. Almost everything, it's 4 potatoes for 1 for a 10 gain seed. And then its strength, which is something to do with like how it resists weeds, as well as what's the other big thing with that? It's the like how likely it is to like give off its traits. All of that stuff combined will make better seeds. So what we need to do, and we're gonna just, I didn't get a carrot seed out of that. We're gonna have to look around for more carrot seeds. So we need to get all of these different seeds. And these are all going to be 1-1-1s, because we haven't done anything to make them better yet. And how we can do that is through crossbreeding. So what we do is we can set up crop sticks like so. And I don't know if this has weeds or not. We'll find out soon enough. But do we have a watering can, or do we have access to a watering can? Eventually we'll get a very good watering can, which is going to be awesome. But for now, do we have anything like that? No. That's okay. So what we need to do, and okay, there are weeds. So we can't do it this way. Can we get a watering can? We don't need the seed analyzer anymore. Now, if you want to get rid of weeds, there is some different ways. There is the rake, which removes weeds. There's an iron one as well. And that's just a fence and a stick. Not anything too bad. We can also use, what is it? There's clippers, which lets us take clippings from a seed, and that lets us give better stuff. Success of planting is based on strength. We can get, there's a couple of different items, but can we get a watering can? Nope, of course not. Empty. Oh, yes, we can. Okay. So we need 3 iron. We need bone meal. Ooh. That is unfortunate. I don't know why that crusher recipe's in there. Okay. So that is unfortunate because it's going to be kind of difficult to get any sort of anything. We could add worms to the equation. Actually don't know how. I actually don't know how worms work. Oh, we make fertile land. That's what it is. Okay, not something I really care about. Let's see if we can get any. We do have fertilizer. It is over here. We can get fertilizer. That is easy enough. So if we take a look at, I don't think we can get any sort of, oh wait, no, we have bone meal. Okay, so we need 5 iron, bone meal, and a bowl, which is just 3 wooden slabs. I might also have, let me put this stuff away as well. We might have a bowl lying around somewhere, but I don't think so. Anyways, let's make this stuff. And, yeah, so we need 4 bowls. That will be all we need for that. And then it's only 4 iron, which is not too bad. And we'll go ahead and make a watering can. So how do we use this? Well, it's actually pretty simple. And I think this one is really good. So what we do, one is we're going to clean up our inventory just a little bit. So what we need to do is we need to get some water. I'm so paranoid that our mobs are going to just disappear. They shouldn't, but I'm kind of paranoid that it's going to happen. So now we have water. And we can just hold it in the center, and it increases crop growth pretty decently. So these guys are going to grow like so. And then what we can do is we can put 2 crop sticks down in between them. And we're probably going to want to make a rake. So let's go grab our fence again and a stick. I think the rake is what I've always used. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've done this. And I don't remember what all there is, but a wooden hand rake. Now I don't know if this has durability or not. Now the watering can will also help with this. So we can put that there. It does not have durability, but it doesn't seem to always want to work. Okay. So we have 2 sets of seeds that are growing more weeds. Now we do need to be careful of weeds. Weeds can overtake. We are losing the crop sticks every time we have to place another one down. Weeds can overtake other stuff, and sometimes it's just going to be easier to break. So eventually we'll get some potatoes there. And as these get stronger, as we get higher strengths and all that kind of fun stuff, they will be a little bit better. But they'll get more. Oh, how do I want to say it? They will spread a little bit easier, and it'll be faster all in all. I think we can also, yeah, we can shift right click. And if we shift click, we can do this center. And this is obviously going to take a lot of wood, but cool. So now we have all of these crops, and I'm going to go ahead and grow these just because I want the potatoes, as well as just making sure that we get the seeds. We should, but now we can just break all these, and you'll see very quickly we have a bunch of seeds. So these are the ones we identified earlier. These are the 111s. We have 3 that should be a little bit better. They're 121s. And then we have 2 that are also 111s. That's disappointing. Now what we can do is we can basically switch these guys out, and it will make more potatoes, and we can get better potatoes. So basically we just continue doing this until we get all stats to 10 10 10. It's going to take a while. It's going to be a lot of work. I'm going to do it mostly off camera, but we're going to get a lot of potatoes from it, which is nice. And honestly, I'm going to cook most of these potatoes for myself, because we are getting hungry, and we're almost out of toast. I might make some more toast later, but the last thing, so that's one of the big things we need to do, is make the 10 10 10 potato seeds. And then after we get that, we can make more of them, and we can have a farm of 10 10 10 potato seeds. Why do we want that? Well, some of the things we can do, some of the things we can sell are potatoes. For example, in capitalism, we have Potato Farmer. 500 baked potatoes gives us 4 copper coins. Not that hard, but you know, we can do it. And then eventually we'll get, you know, into making foods and all that kind of fun stuff. We'll have a factory farm per se. So let's get 1 2 3 4 and get those cooking up. So yeah, that is really cool. Now the next thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna probably want some potatoes before we go do this, and I need to organize a lot of this stuff. But I'll kind of worry about that later. So the next thing we're going to do is we need to head out into the world and find some stuff. Specifically, what we're going to be looking for is beehives. So if we look at the naturalism, we have, so up here for better farmland, we can get the fertile land. That stuff is cool. We'll worry about that later. But most of this other stuff, nether stuff, we can't do until we go to the nether. And we can't do anything with mobs until we get to the deep dark. The only thing we can really work towards is the 10 10 10 potato seed, which we're going to. But the other thing we can do is start looking at getting wool, leather, milk, chickens, eggs, and feathers. That we might do something different a little bit later. And then bacon jerky eventually. Curiosity. How bad is it to make a hopper? That's super easy. Okay. We might work on that later. Actually, you know what? While we're waiting for the potatoes to cook, let's go ahead and do that. So I want to make a couple of things. I want to make another chest, and I want to make a hopper. We're also going to want to grab some of the, where is it? The boat. We're going to want a boat. Because the other thing in this whole thing that we're going to work towards is making bees. Well, not making bees, but bee products. We're going to want bees. And it's not forestry bees, although, are those in this? No. Okay. Is forestry in this? I don't think forestry's in this. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's unusual, to be honest. No, we're going to be working with Pam's Harvest Craft bees. And I will be honest, I've never actually done anything with this stuff. But we need to go find some bees first. But before we do that, we're going to set up, hopefully, a chicken farm. Grab 2 pieces of glass, and just to make it look a little bit different, because I don't want to use cobblestone, we'll chisel some cobblestone. How about that? Let's get something that looks kind of nice. Let's get light panels. Sure. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up. I think right back here, we're gonna put our chest. We're gonna put a hopper. It should be going into that chest. And it is. This is the most basic chicken farm you can ever make to collect eggs. And something else we might want to do eventually is put some carpets so we can get out of here a little bit easier. But what we'll do is we'll grab all of our eggs and feathers out of there, and we're going to put them over here. So let's terraform this just a little bit. And we'll put... I don't like that. Let's get brick. And of course it's collecting all the stuff that we give it. Let's do a lined. And we're just going to do something like this. We're going to grab some glass so that we can see on top of this. We'll give the chicken some light because I'm not that evil, but we just hopefully can throw some chickens down here. There we go. There's 1, 2, and the more we have, the more products we'll get. So we'll have baby chickens. Eventually these guys will grow up, and they're just going to sit on the hopper. And whenever... we'll have to figure something out about that. Isn't there a slightly larger chest? Isn't this a thing we can do to... I don't remember. I think that will let us open it. But we should be able to open that chest, I thought. Oh well. We'll just let it set. And honestly, we don't even need the chest. We can just have the hopper there and collect stuff in there. So yeah, that's all we needed to do. Let's go ahead and get our cobblestone back. So we need to go find some beehives. That is gonna be fun. Unfortunately, beehives are a little bit of a pain to find because they don't spawn everywhere. Well, they do, but they're just they're notoriously rare. So what we're gonna do is there is some forests. We're gonna go this way. We're gonna go east, and hopefully we'll find some beehives, and then we can bring them back. We can start producing bee stuff, honeycombs and wax combs, and honey from the honeycombs, and that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to once again cut away, and I'm going to go search for some bees. I'm also kind of searching, a little bit less so, but still a little bit, for anything else I can find in terms of biomes. We really need to find a desert at some point so that we can completely destroy it and hopefully get some good stuff out of it. One of the big things that we're going to need to get soon is the ore finder so that we can tell what ores are around. But I'm going to go find the bees, and yeah, I'll bring you guys back in once I do. Alright, so that surprisingly didn't take that long. To give you an idea, I didn't get too far into this forest, but I found some, hey, owl eggs. I'm gonna take those. Nah, I'm not gonna take them. That's rude. We're gonna leave the eggs there. But I was able to find, one, there's some birds, there's some magpies around where I landed. I guess it's over that way. And if you don't know much about magpies in real life, they like to steal things, and they pick up whatever they can find. I believe they're closely related to like ravens or not ravens, crows. They might be related to ravens. I don't know. I don't know much about birds. I'll be honest. But magpies. Hey, there's another. Magpies like to pick up things, and they're kind of notorious for that. And I found one that had some string in its mouth, so that's kind of cool. But we have a beehive here and a beehive over there. So maybe they're not as rare as I had thought, but I believe all we have to do is break them, and we get the queen. So the queen bee, we throw into an apiary, and to get that is going to be a little bit of a problem. The apiary requires a bunch of item frames, which requires leather. So we'll get to that soon enough. But I figured I'd bring you guys in just for that. Now, when I was talking about I want to find various... there's things I'm looking for out in the world. One of the big things is biome. And I'm probably going to spend some time between episodes just kind of walking around, trying to get more map. I'm aware that if we get the power armor, it'll be a lot easier to do that, but for the time being, what I kind of want to do is just walk around, see what I can find. I might pick up some herb gardens and things like that, but one of the big things that I need to find other than biomes is ores, specifically the metallurgy ores. If I can find some of that stuff, I would really like it, but it's just going to be a lot of me exploring. There's not much to it. I'm going to pick up any bees that I can find and probably spend most of my time... by the way, some of these unidentified egg shells. I don't know if any of that stuff is going to be useful for us, but you go to a forest and you'll find plenty of bird's nests. Magpie. Chance of spawning, 10%. So, yeah, basically, I'm going to just search around for a while. I'm going to explore in this general direction between episodes, and I will head back eventually. And the plan is going to be this. We're going to, next time, we're going to focus on trying to get, I'm going to attempt my hardest to get as much prep work done making circuits so that we can either start making circuits automatically, relatively anyways, or something. I need to figure out a way to get ores processed and making new machines a little bit easier. So there is a lot of things to do. But I think what we're going to focus on next time is going to be more of the factory stuff, a little bit more of the automation type stuff, and ore processing. But it was nice to get away from that and get to more natural stuff. So that is also things we're going to kind of work on in the background. Eventually we'll want to make things like, I'm sure there are animal feeders and... there's animal traps. We can get animals to come in, but there's things that we can do to automate our cows and sheep and all that. And I'm gonna let the chickens kind of set in the hopper, and we'll collect that stuff every once in a while as well. So there's a lot to do, but we'll get there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.